What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Gacharic Spin. Yes, indeed. Gacharic Spin fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of September for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, SMB. I hope you enjoy the show, man. SMB want to see me react to this song by Gacharic Spin called Shaki Shaki... What?
Son, have you been reading heresy recently? Unacceptable.
Boy, I hope I pronounced this correctly. Called Shaki Shaki Shite.
Suck it to him!
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, it's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Gacharic Spin, big surprise there, and the video has 36,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Gacharic Spin live in 2022. Star GGG Premium. Okay. 2022, 7/02, so July 2nd. At, I have no idea. Pit. Okay, I mean, they're in the pit, I guess. There's a lot to take in there. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm supposed to start at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 30 seconds, which I did. And I'm supposed to end at 1:13:34. So we'll see if I hit that mark. We'll find out here.
What the hell's going on tonight?
So let me get this straight.
Mass hysteria!
They're going to go into the crowd with a bunch of cardboard cutouts and fake instruments and toy instruments, and they're going to pretend to play along with tracks, and they're not going to make any bones about it. They're not going to try and hide it. Okay, look, I have mixed feelings about this. Number one, I'm not going to lie, I am put off by it.
Wow, man, freaked out!
It just seems childish. I mean, if you want to go into the crowd, fine, go into the crowd. Do you really need cardboard cutouts and toy instruments? Do you really need those? Look, if you're going to go in the crowd, just go in the crowd. You don't need to bring your instruments with you. Just go into the crowd. Have fun with the crowd. Absolutely. But the whole cardboard cutout stuff, I mean, and the toy stuff, not needed, not necessary. And to be honest with you, it looks childish. It looks stupid. I do appreciate them going into the crowd. I appreciate that. I can't help but notice the face shields. This is during COVID, obviously. And they have to take precautions. I don't blame them whatsoever. Gotta follow protocols. I don't blame them whatsoever. I like the idea of the crowd interaction. I do. I got no problem going into the crowd. That's fine. And I will say, going into the crowd, as much as I don't like those cardboard cutouts and toys, as much as I think they're stupid and ridiculous, at least they're making it very obvious, and they're making no bones about it that they're not playing their instruments. They're not going to sit there and pretend to play their instruments and try to fool everybody and pretend like, oh yeah, we're really playing live. No, they're not. They're not. And they're making it very clear and making it very obvious that they're not. So they're not trying to deceive anybody, and I respect that. But like I said, I got mixed feelings about this. There are some things I like, some things I don't like, and there are some things that I may not necessarily like, but I respect. So I'm really kind of going all over the meter right now with this one. The needle is flying from left to right. So I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. Man. Anyway, let's keep going. Like I said, I appreciate them going into the crowd and interacting with the crowd. And we saw a ton of crowd interaction there. That whole section was nothing but crowd interaction. So I appreciate that. I'm glad, I am glad to some extent that they did that. That's something that a lot of bands won't do. And I give them all the respect in the world for doing that. And I will say, from what I could tell, it sounds like they're singing live. It does, because you're hearing those out-of-tune notes every once in a while. I don't know who's singing out of tune. It's probably changing around from person to person. And, you know, I'm not complaining about the out-of-tune notes. I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'm using it as my argument that it sounds like they're singing live. It's not tracked. So good on them for singing live while they're doing that. That's cool. Guys, you could have left all the props behind. I just think the props were silly. Anyway, looks like we're back on stage. Now, I don't know if they're going to be putting instruments on or not. We only got like 2.5 minutes to go. So I don't know if it's even worth putting the instruments back on at this point. I mean, I guess you got over 2 minutes. Yeah, maybe it would be. It depends on how long it takes them to do it. Let's see what happens here.
してレモンレモンダメダメシャキシャキしてシャキシャキシャキシャキしてパキパキシャキとしてパキパキヨレヨレダメダメシャキシャキしてシャキシャキしてパキパキシャキとしてパキパキ Wake up!
Hey, girl. Yeah. Put your face shields back on. We're gonna go back into the crowd.
Jump しろって言われたりもも上げ頑張れよって言われたりそんなに頑張ったのにシャキッと踊れなんて楽しいバンドなんでしょうガチャリックスピンは皆さんのその熱い輪がしっかりここに伝わってきてるから今日も一日楽しいですもっと手を挙げてみんなよく頑張りました花丸
The final pose. It's the Ginyu Force. Man, I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know. I'm going to do my best to find as much as I can to praise this and as many ways as I possibly can to boost the score as much as I possibly can. But guys, I'm going to be honest with you, it ain't looking good. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Gacharic Spin with Shaki Shaki Shite. This was a request from SMB, and this was one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of September for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, yeah, there you go, SMB. I hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, I debated on this one. I did. I was so torn. And to be honest with you folks, I still am torn. Like, I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, I don't understand. I get it, but I don't understand. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Let's start with the score. Now, before I give the score, let me tell you folks, when I say I scraped the bottom of the barrel, I didn't just scrape it. I took the barrel apart. Took every plank out of the barrel. I took it in my hands and I literally twisted the wood and squeezed every possible drop of positive juice out of that barrel until there was literally nothing left. And unfortunately, it didn't help a whole lot. I gave it the highest score I could possibly justify. And unfortunately, I'm gonna tell you right now, we ain't in the 9s. And we're not even in the 8s. You'll see. On a scale of 1 to 10, as much as I would love to give it a higher score than this, I cannot justify it. I'm going to give that the highest score I possibly can, and I'm going to give that a 7.0. Yep, 7.0. I don't feel good about that score, man. I don't. But I got to be honest with you. It's the highest score I can honestly justify it. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, look. I appreciate the effort of the girls going into the crowd for a ton of crowd interaction. They did something that not many bands would even dream of, let alone give honest to God thought to, let alone put into practice, and let alone execute in a live setting. Very, very few bands are willing to do that and cross that line and go into the crowd. Not just one or two members, the entire band, okay? I will give the girls all of the credit in the world, and I'm going to be honest with you, that is the reason that we're up at 7.0. The only reason why we are up at a 7.0. Everything else, really didn't help their cause very much. But I was thrilled to see all of the crowd interaction, moving through the crowd, and not just going into the crowd and standing in one spot with them all evenly spaced apart. No, they were all moving around throughout the entire crowd, you know, moving north and south and east and west. I mean, it was really nice to see that. So everybody got a chance to at least experience, from what I could tell, everybody was able to experience at least two of the girls, you know, at some point, which was great to see. It was great to see the energy in the crowd. It was great to see the crowd appreciating the girls, taking the time to go out there. And it was a great thing to see the crowd, see the girls having the courage to go out there and mingle in the crowd, even while following COVID protocols with their face shields on. Smart move. I'm not criticizing that at all. I think it's smart. You know, listen, if you got protocols to follow them, figure it out. And they had the headset mics underneath between their mouths and their spit shields. Perfectly fine with me. I think that's smart. But if I'm being honest, folks, that is the only thing that is in the positives here. Okay, well, there's one other positive thing. They were singing live. Even when they were in the crowd, they were singing live, and I absolutely give credit where credit's due. And I know for a fact they were singing live because you heard a lot of flat notes and sharp notes while they're running around. You know, guys, listen, when you're running around and walking around and moving through the crowd and, you know, dancing around and jumping around, it's not easy to sing in tune. It really isn't. There is going to be sharp and flat notes. I don't care who you are. So, but I didn't hear a ton, and they weren't out terribly bad, but they were noticeable. And look, that's okay. I don't mind because, again, it just proves the point that they were singing live. So there's your two positives. Now, the negatives. Those cardboard cutouts and those toys, guys, get rid of them. Seriously, they just look stupid. I'm sorry, they look childish, and there's absolutely no reason for them. If you're not going to play them, don't use them. Leave them off. Just go out into the crowd by yourselves and have fun with it. You know, don't worry about, you know, I felt bad for the drummer most of all, having to keep that plastic toy drum set together. You could see her just like hovering her hands over it to make sure that it doesn't fall apart while she's moving around. Guys, just dump them. You don't need them. They don't really add anything other than an element of absolute and complete silliness. The fact that they were not playing the song and they were playing and they were using a track. To be honest with you guys, me personally, I'd rather see them on stage playing their instruments. I mean, that's just me. I know. And listen, I have a feeling like this is one of those instances where I have a feeling that it's going to sound better, it's going to look better, and I'll probably be able to appreciate it more if I'm actually there in the crowd, experiencing it live firsthand. To me, this is one of those times, and it's happened before with other bands, where it just doesn't translate well to video. You know what I mean? I mean, you can watch it on video and that's fine, but if you're there in person experiencing it, it's A, gonna make a lot more sense, and B, you're gonna have a lot more fun with it. Watching it on video, it looks silly. But I mean, if I was there in person, I probably would understand it more and I'd probably grasp it better. It just does not translate well to video. I just don't think it does. So, yeah, I mean, that's ultimately how I came up with the 7.0. You can thank the fact that they had a ton of crowd interaction and the fact that they were actually singing live. Man, if they weren't singing live, oh boy, I guarantee you we'd be down in the 5s, if not lower. So yeah, 7.0. I listen, I tried, guys. I really did. I tried to get that higher. I just can't. I cannot justify it. I feel good with the 7.0. But like I said, I really do wish I could go higher, but I can't justify it. I just can't. So 7.0, that's where we're at, and that is unfortunately where we're gonna stay. So 7.0, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.